Thank you very much. Right. So, welcome everyone to the session that we are going to discuss about suicide prevention and the awareness of this. And as you know, this is organized by the Gatwick College of Colombo Diploma Psychology Unit. So I believe you all are here to understand about this topic, which is very important. But since we were a bit late to start from the university, they're going to start it on time. So anyway, let's move on with the presentation. And first of all, why we have selected this topic, suicide prevention. So suicide prevention is very important because in every year, we lose about 1 million people in the world. And that is something we can reduce, something we can prevent by knowing what it is and how to address these things, right? So that means every minute there are suicide happening in the world, so which is not good sign. So let's see the rates in Sri Lanka about when it comes to suicide. You know, in 1996, Sri Lanka was the #1 ranked in the world when it comes to suicide. But today we are not in the #1. But if you can see the numbers, at the time we were #1, the suicide rates per 100 was about 6.97, right? But in current statistics, 2019 only we have received. You know, in Sri Lanka, you get the statistics bit delayed. In few years, only we will be able to get 2023. So up to 2019, we have the statistics, which is 14.6. And in 2011, it was 18.9. So even though we are not the #1, still the problem is there, and it has come to a stage which we should do more proactive things to eliminate. Otherwise, it will get worse, right? And people ask this question, is it male or female have the highest suicide rate? So let me unmute you all. Right. Can someone just quickly switch on the mic and answer that question? You think, is it male or female rates are high? Can anyone?
Males are high.
Okay. Anyone else?
Females.
Okay, right. So, thank you very much for that. May I know the names of those people who answered?
Savitri.
Okay. Hi, Miss Savitri. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's males.
Okay,
but
good.
Attempts female.
Okay.
Attempts are more for females, but suicides more for males.
Okay, right. So any other answers? We heard one person saying female. Who was that? Can I know the name? Is that Rehana? No. Okay, never mind. Right. So when it comes to, since we are talking about this in general terms, as well as when it comes to psychology, there's a like 4 times more chances of men committing suicide. That is as per the psychology. So is it true, as Ms. Savitri said, she's also in the field of suicide prevention. Let me not discuss that right now here, but towards the end, we can discuss about that as well. So as per psychology, yes, Ms. Savitri was correct. Men are more like attempt suicides, right? 4 times more when it comes to the theoretical part, right? But the same thing we can see in Sri Lankan suicide rates, 2015, 16, 17. This is the source is Sri Lanka police. So female, male rates are much higher. It's not 4 times, but yes, it is much higher when it comes to suicides in Sri Lanka, 2015, 16, and 17. So moving to age-wise in USA, these are the statistics, and you can see even in males, you see more suicide when it is over 75 years, right? But for females, this is US statistics, not Sri Lanka. But for female, this is about 45 to 64. This is in the year, I can't see that year right here. This is in the year, 2000 and 2016 comparison, right? So why this is important to understand is what are the general statistics before we get into this prevention part. So in worldwide, there are so many diseases, and this people losing life because of suicide comes to about 12 to 15th rank in the world. But some of these things like cancer, diabetes, maybe like cholesterol, those things you need some medical practitioners to help to prevent or reduce. But suicide is something by creating awareness, making more awareness and teaching, we can reduce this level. And that is something we should try to achieve, even in Sri Lanka and also in global state. So when it comes to female, 35% of the suicides happen because of harassments by husbands or family disputes. This also we see in Sri Lanka. There are a lot of suicides happening because of that, which is pretty sad. Female suicide in Sri Lanka were higher compared to the world statistics. Even Sri Lankan suicide rates, if you analyze, males are more, but females are less. Still, when we compare with the world, our ranking when it comes to female suicides are high, which is not a good sign for a society. And most important part is how to prevent this suicide, right? So there are a lot of fictions and facts. I would like to invite Bagi. Bagi, am I audible to you?
Yeah, Sankar.
Okay. So Bagi, can we discuss a few fictions and facts?
Yeah, sure. Hi. Hi, good evening,
First of all,
everyone.
just introduce yourself, Bagi.
Yeah. Hi, I'm
We can't hear you.
I want to ask first question is Sankar, people who talk about suicide, they will not really do it. Is it true or not?
Yeah, it's actually a fiction. Most of the people who kill themselves have given definite, define some warnings before they commit suicide. So thinking that they will not talk about it, and if they talk, then they won't do it. It's a kind of a fiction, right? And the second one?
Yeah. My second question is anyone who tries to kill themselves must be crazy, right? What do you have to say about it?
Again, that's also a fiction. Just because people are committing suicides, that doesn't mean they are crazy or they are psychologically, they have some kind of a sickness or something. It's not. It is not a fact. It is a fiction.
Okay. And my next question is if someone is determined to kill themselves, nothing is going to stop them. Is that true, Sankar?
Well, again, that is also a fiction. If you have a good support system, if you have people, we will talk about how to prevent these suicides. There are a lot of chances that you can save lives.
Okay. My last question is we're talking about suicide may give someone the idea to attempt suicide. Don't you agree with me, Sankar?
Well, just because of we are talking about suicides doesn't mean that we will give them an idea. But if somebody believes that just because when we are talking about suicide, people will attempt, the people who believes that might get affected. For example, let's say you have a family history of suicides, right? So when you talk about that word, those words may be like trigger points, right? It might always give them some sort of a reminder that this happens to my family, my aunt dies like this. So when we talk about that more and more with those people who have a family history, might get some sort of a not encouragement, some sort of an idea, kind of a trigger. Otherwise, just because we are talking about suicide, it won't. Even if we ask the question, are you planning to suicide? You won't get affected in general terms. But there can be special occasions, special mentalities, special personalities who might get affected, but not in general terms. Anything else, Bagi?
No. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so then there are a lot of fictions and facts. These are some of the fictions and facts that we talk about. But if you search, you will find much more, which is very important. So we can understand this topic better, right? And let me go to next part, which is the prevention part. Right. Now, how can we prevent suicide? This is something I have put, if you can see, a detailed list of things we can do. But basically, if you can understand our environment, who are the people dealing with problems, and what are their family backgrounds, and how can we strengthen their economy, like their day-to-day needs, those kind of things those kind of things leads to suicide. So if we can help them with those things, if we can talk to them, if we can understand them, if we can basically be a good friend. Even in Sri Lanka, we have a organization called Sumitrio, right? Whose main objective is to help prevent suicide. So the word itself explain being a good friend. Being a friend is very important for to prevent suicides. And also there may be people who have experienced suicide in their families. So those people, we should make sure that they are going through a difficult period, and we should talk to them and understand their situation. There may be attempts, like let's say if you lose your wife, if you lose your husband or your kid because of suicide, there may be some sort of a period they will struggle with that thought process. So there should be a good friend, a family member, or a place you can go and talk to. So by releasing those will help you to prevent suicide. So always try to understand what is going on around you, and try to be a good friend. That's very important. And also you can take help from different organizations. So I think we have talked a lot, but not enough, definitely. But you are free to ask any questions before we wind up.
Sankha, can I ask a question from you?
Yes, please tell me your name first.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, first
can I ask a
introduce.
question?
Yeah, of course. First, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Nuan.
Yes,
Group. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The question is, what are the organizations try to prevent suicide in Sri Lanka?
Yes, actually, that is part of my presentation, so I can share you with you guys. It was kept to the very last, so I think it will be helpful since you asked. That's actually there in the slides, right? So these are some of the numbers, like Sri Lanka mental health help hotline. You can talk 1926, or you can use the CC number, which is 1333. And also the leading party who's try to prevent suicide in Sri Lanka is Sri Lanka Sumitrio. So it is located in Colombo 7, as well as there are 11 branches. So I think it will be very useful if you take down these numbers, and it might help you at some point. We are planning to share this presentation with others as well. Right. Thank you very much for that question. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Hi, Sankha. It's Yogan.
Hi, Yogan.
I want to ask one question.
Mhm.
When someone says, I want to die, I don't care anymore, nothing matters, what should be our response? Who we should react?
Great.
we should-
Actually, yeah, it's a very good question. People say even in Sinhala matnang ati dan jiwattuna then marranang hari jiwattala wadak ne. No, those kind of things we hear in the society. So what is important is, without just ignoring the fact that they have mentioned something like this, just try to see actually is there anything going on? Is there anything that we have to worry about? So it's very important to do that, right? By doing that, we will be able to help that person. Any other questions?
Hi, Sankha. This is Rehana.
Hi,
There's a
Rehana.
question from me. Yeah, hi.
Sure.
Then, what are the additional signs that we shouldn't ignore when it comes to suicide?
Yes, great question. So basically, there are a lot of signs actually. As we discussed with Bagi also, we have discussed some of the fictions and facts. There are a lot of signs they are giving. Like, let's say there's a person who's very unorganized and always like keep very busy schedules, and their tables are not clean, rooms are not clean. But all of a sudden, you see that they are cleaning the rooms, giving back the like, let's say, DVDs or books or anything, they are returning back to the owners, or they are closing, like they try to talk to people, and like, after a long time they are visiting the relatives like never before. The mood has changed. Sometimes they are normally not happy always, but all of a sudden they are very happy about something. Like, those kind of different behaviors are signs. For example, some people before they die, before they suicide, they actually throw a party. They want to see everybody, they want to say their goodbyes. So those are kind of signs. So those things, if you try to understand, which is very common sense, but people has to pay attention. You have to keep your mind focus clear, to identify those kind of small differences, small changes in those lives. So it's very important to have friends and family who will understand those kind of things and react. And then you can either you can support, or you can lead them to, like we previously talked, these kind of institutes who are